Hey, this is Austin from FoodSpot. We're here at a new location with a fridge that we're going to set up. It'll arrive to you just like this on a pallet on the sidewalk. It'll be all wrapped up. You're going to need 2 people for 2 hours to unbox it and get it set up. And we're going over that process of unwrapping, getting it on wheels, putting it into position, and getting it set up. So let's get started. The first steps, you're going to want to get a knife. Utility knife is fine. And you're going to want to cut the plastic off. And you're going to want to cut away from you. And you can just cut all the way down. Cut against where the cardboard is so it doesn't scratch the fridge. And from there, just start unwrapping it. Next, you're going to want to take this plastic wrap off so it just comes off right over the top. In order to unbolt the fridge from the pallet, you'll need to remove the front and back covers. The front cover is held on by 1 screw in the front center, and you can use your Phillips screwdriver to locate that screw. You can take this panel, shift it up slightly, and then pull it forward. You might have to wiggle it a bit, and that's where it's connected. To remove the back panel, first you'll want to cut the zip tie that's holding the power cord. Remove that, and you can place the cord gently over these antennas to keep it out of the way. Then you want to unscrew the screw that's at the bottom here. Same as the front panel. So you'll pull up and then jiggle it and pull it back. And then you can actually feed this cord all the way through here. Like that. And then we set this panel aside. So now that you have the panel off, you'll have access to the 4 bolts. There's 2 bolts in the front and 2 in the back that hold the fridge to the pallet. There need to be these bolts right here, and then on the other side, that one right there. You're going to take your 7/16 wrench, put it on the bolt, and just undo it all the way. You're going to repeat the same thing on the back. These 2 bolts are located here, and the other one is here. On this one, just be careful not to bend the refrigerant line too much. Next, we're going to slide the fridge slightly off the pallet in the front and the right direction. We have these 3 wheels laid out here. We're going to install these wheels first after the fridge is slightly off the pallet, and we'll install the 4th wheel later. Make sure that you install the 2 locking wheels in the front. So from where I'm standing now, at the back of the fridge, you can see that we pushed it forward and to the left, enough to have the fridge come over the side of the pallet, where you can access the screw on the bottom to put the wheels in. You're definitely going to want 2 people for this, and when one person is installing the wheels, the second person should be bracing against this corner of the fridge the entire time to make sure that it doesn't fall over in case the ground is uneven. So the holes you're looking for to screw the wheels in are going to be right in here. And you'll take the wheel from the bottom, look at the hole, and then turn the top of the wheel and the threads to screw them in. So keep in mind there is a tool included with these wheels, but in our experience it's a lot easier just to tighten these by hand and just go until they bottom out and hand tight, and you don't need to use the tool unless there's some resistance and you can't get it tight by hand, or if you're trying to remove the wheel at a later date and you can't get it on. So once you have the 3 wheels on, to install the 4th wheel, you're going to have one person come on this side, which facing the front of the fridge is the right side of the fridge, and they're going to tip the whole fridge back, and then your partner is going to remove the pallet and screw the 4th wheel on while the fridge is being tipped. Once the wheel is on and they're clear, then just gently tip the fridge back and it'll be standing on its 4 wheels. Once you have the fridge on its 4 wheels, you want to reinstall the back and the front panels. For the back panel, you want to take the cord, feed it back through the hole in the back of the panel. Then you'll want to locate these screws on either side. You want to take the hole in the panel, wiggle and press it on, and then have it slot down. And same on the other side. Okay. Then you'll want to reinstall the screw on the back. The front panel is going to be the same as the back. I'm going to slide it up, making sure that the thermostat housing clears the hole. You want to locate the screws on the side. Wiggle it until it goes in the hole and then slot down. Same on the other side. Then you'll take your screw and reinstall it at the bottom. Same day that your fridge arrives, it's very important to inspect for any damage that might have happened during shipping, and also to get your fridge plugged in and the shelves installed so that the FoodSpot team can start initializing on the back end. You have 24 hours to report any damage for insurance claims, so make sure to inspect your fridge, and you should have received an automated email from FoodSpot with instructions to submit that claim to the freight carrier. Take pictures and videos to document the damage. So to set up the inside of your fridge, you're going to want to open the door and then take all the contents out. So next, you're going to want to remove the shelves, and the best way I found to do this is to cut the tape on the styrofoam and then tilt the styrofoam back and remove the shelves one by one. Be very careful of the antenna panels and the leads. If these leads get bent, they will break and they're fragile, so just be mindful of that. So once you unpack, here's what you should have. Shelf clips, which hold the shelves up. The shelves themselves with the RFID antennas attached. These rollers, which go on top of the shelf and allow product to be stocked and removed and have it roll to the front. These row dividers that let you adjust the width of the row to differentiate between a salad or a can of soda. And these end caps, which stop products from falling off the front of the shelves. When spacing your shelves, I recommend doing just one side of the front first to eyeball how you want your shelves spaced. Then there's numbers on these rails, and you can put the shelf clips on the other side that match the numbers. For the clips in the back, you want to put them 2 or 3 slots higher than the front to help the product roll forward.
Feel free to customize the shelving height based on your merchandising planogram. If you need somewhere to start, here are the shelf clip positions for a standard FoodSpot merchandising setup with bottled drinks at the top and larger items at the bottom. In the front, 5, 6, 2, 5, 2, and then the lowest position. In the back, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, and 4.
Once you have your clips installed, it's time to install the shelves. You'll begin by removing the protective caps on both ends, here, and then also at the back of the fridge. Keep in mind that for the top shelf, the antenna is already installed in the fridge, and so this lead will go to the top one, and the bottom shelf does not have a reader on it. So when installing the shelf, make sure that the lead is coming off to the right side. I like to tilt these a bit so they clear the door. Move them in gently and make sure that you don't pinch or drag any of the antenna leads. And then set it down on the clips. Then you can take the antenna lead for the shelf and plug it into the port that's below the shelf. Once you're done setting up your shelves, you're going to want to remove the protective plastic. There's one on the credit card terminal. There's a big one and a small one on the camera. The small one is just over the lens. And then there's one on the logo plate here. Once you've gotten that, you can remove the rest of the protective plastic. And one thing to note, right here on this side, the protective plastic actually goes under this black piece. So if you take a knife and just very, very, very gently cut down like this, then when you remove it, it'll come off cleanly. Next, you're going to install the rollers. So you just slide them in. Make sure that the slot is on the front and the rollers are on the top. It slides in, past this bar, and it sits there. To install the dividers, there's slots in the roller pieces, and this just presses down in there, and then just find the matching one on the back. I usually reference these silver lines here, but there are also numbers here that you can use. And then, once you have all the dividers in, you want to take the shelf and just pull it forward so it clears the side of the fridge. You're going to take your end cap, and there's a little tiny protrusion there, and there's a slot at the bottom of the end cap, and that slot will slide in, and it should have very little resistance. Slide that across, put the fridge back, or the shelf back, and you're done. So we found installing these to be a bit tricky. What you want to do is remove the backing, and then start about a ½ inch from the end. Brace the bottom of the plastic end cap against your leg, and then use something like a squeegee or a stick to slowly go and apply from one end to the other. Once you finish setting up the fridge, the final step is to get the keys out of the back. To open the back, you lift up and then turn. The keys should be in a bag here. Recommend that you take the keys for the back and connect them together with the keys for the front.